The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get.
He missed the complete. He's crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield floor. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
Arizona, famous for its beautiful, sweeping, scenic vistas, like the one that the fans have at Monument Hill overlooking Phoenix International Raceway, which plays host to the We Stand United Subway 150. And all the action will be carried live as it happens here on the Global Sim Racing channel. In just under 15 minutes, the green flag will wave, giving the yeehaw to the rolling herd of Gen 6 stock cars to stampede into the first turn, raising the dust for round 4 of this 39 race campaign. So toggle the big screen input to the internet feed, pour yourself an Arizona Arnold Palmer half and half iced tea lemonade, pop open a bag of Mission chips, and sit back and enjoy the 150 laps of simulated NASCAR excitement that will be streaming towards your home. Hello everyone and welcome to another GSRC broadcast. I'm your host, Bill Soup Zahn. Helping me call the action is our oval aficionado, Sean Ambrose. Turning the knobs and pushing the sliders is our director and reigning MX5 World Tour champion, Amjad Yaman. And at his disposal will be the camera locations provided by the Ansel Adams of iRacing, Dougie Beard. If you were with us last race, you saw, and if you weren't with us, shame on you, the class of the field, James Mullins, fall victim to a late race pit road speeding penalty that crushed his hopes of victory like a styrofoam cup in the hand of Matt Hooper. Mullins, a misfortune, opened the door for Trevor Vrobroski to hold off Cordell Colon and Jimmy Mullins for the win, and it was an exciting battle down to the checkered flag. It was not a great race for the drivers who were first to the checkered flag previously this season. Atlanta winner Blake Heath finished 18th. Brandon Cretion, the man who actually held the Atlanta checkered flag for about 24 hours until having to surrender it to Heath, finished 19th, and just behind those two was the Daytona winner Tad Granger in 20th. Penalties have played a huge role so far in the season, with Granger, with Cretion being stripped of a win by the series organizers, and Mullins being penalized by the automated iRacing marshals. We'll talk more about how those infractions have affected the point standings in just a few minutes, but first, let's bring in Sean to tell us a little bit about Phoenix International Raceway.
Well, Bill, I'm happy to do it. We're going to follow Billy Thorpe with the Children of the Sun into the Valley of the Sun here in Phoenix International Raceway. 1 mile track, interesting dog leg coming off of turn 2. Not a whole lot of banking here. Backstretch about 10 degrees. Progressive banking a little bit there in the turn, somewhere around 8 to 9 degrees. But that front stretch, very interesting with a little bit of 3 degrees. So kind of a flat track. But again, the dog leg out of that you see coming out of 2, that's really the interesting part of this track. That's where you're going to see drivers try to use up as much of that track surface there as possible. We could see possibly 6 wide there today, Bill. Who knows? I mean, it could be just going to get real crazy real quick. But pretty warm out there today. But I'll tell you what, we got up with Brian Yazik. He jumped in the GSRC Gen 6 Chevrolet and took us for a couple of laps around.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Sim Racing channel. My name is Brian Yazik and I'll be taking you for a spin around Phoenix International Raceway. Phoenix is a fun little flat 1 mile oval. It takes a lot of skill and a lot of patience to navigate this track successfully. Going into turn 1 on your first lap, you're going to hit the brakes right about on that second cone mark. Try to find either the bottom or the middle right here. Get back into the gas, but not too quick, because if you get back up there, you're going to plow up into the fence. Now with Phoenix, when they repaved the track, they left this dogleg all wide open. You're going to see guys all over that. Turn 3, once again, find it. You're waiting for the car to roll, and then you're going to roll back into the throttle like there's an egg underneath the gas pedal. Going to get back off the corner. If you do it too quick, you will get a little loose, just like I did right there. Once again, down into turn 1. Hit the brakes right about on that second cone from the wall. Find that yellow line, and here you can actually hook it and go straight through the open dogleg, but be careful because it's very slick down there. There's no banking to catch the car. back into turn 3. You're looking to find the yellow line, get out of the gas, ease back into it, ease it, and then once you find the right mark, swing it right out here to the fence, and you completed a lap around the Phoenix International Raceway. It's a driver favorite, fan favorite, and more importantly, it's going to be a great show for today. My name is Brian Yazek, and this was a lap around the Phoenix International Raceway.
Every oval is unique, even though there are 4 left turns. Each one of those 4 left turns is unique to the particular venue that we are at, and certainly Phoenix falls into that category. We're going to talk more about that a little bit later. Let's go ahead and bring up the point standings right now. Now, looking at these driver standings, I'm reminded of a golf saying that drive for show, putt for dough. And in the case of these WSU driver championships, it's consistency over sensationalism. Now, what I'm talking about is Brian Big Kahuna moved up 2 spots to sit atop the points. Now, climbing also 3 positions was Jimmy Mullis, M-U-L-L-I-S, not to be confused with James Mullins. Mullis was elbowing his way into second. Now, Kahuna and Mullis are both winless this season, but together they have 5 top 5s between them. Now, the 3 previous race winners sit directly below, and that's Tad Granger, Blake Heather, and Trevor Bobrovsky. They sit in 3rd, 4th, and 5th. But those 3 drivers have only combined for 4 top 10s. Now, the 3 guys, only 4 top 10s compared to 5 top 10s posted by the 2 drivers that are ahead of them. So you can see that it's not about so much about winning, it's being able to consistently put up those good finishes, and that's going to come into effect through the whole season, especially when they get into the chase format going down. Now, Sean, we've talked about the venue and the standings a little bit. Let's take a second look and talk about the league rules here that are specific to this series and this race particularly.
Yeah, let's talk about the format tonight. So we do know we've got 150 laps on this 1 mile track, okay? 150 laps, 50% fuel in these tanks to get started. That's certainly that's going to be a factor here. You're not going to be able to make it on a 50% tank. A lot of laps. No fast repairs, Bill. Bring what you brought to the track and take care of the car. And man, that's going to be a tough proposition here tonight. We'll talk a little bit about that more in a moment. Track is kind of warm tonight, 91 degrees on the track surface. We're going to have to start with a 60% track state. So conditions seem that maybe there won't be a lot of grip out there. We're going to see. It is an open setup, so if you've got a good setup under you, you might be able to manage your tires, and get to a fuel window on a green flag run. But certainly this league very challenging. Again, the open setup brings it a little bit more into the engineer cross driver side, and again, if you've got a good one of those, Bill, you've got a great chance to stay up front this evening. This is going to be a tough track, man. This one is not a gimme. Phoenix, some love it, some just absolutely dread seeing it on the schedule. I'm one of those that's in the middle. But if you're good here, man, it's easy to get out front and run alone. Clean air is really good here. With these conditions today, you certainly don't want to be in the dirty air. We've got a little bit of a crosswind, not a whole lot, but clean air is going to be premium.
You know, I joined William Shakespeare in being a fan of the no fast repair. You know, Shakespeare several centuries ago quoted him of a man can die but once, and that's what a fast repair is all about. So even William Shakespeare, a little known that he was a sim racing fan even back then. Now, let's talk a little bit about, we talked about Phoenix a bit. I watched some of the real world NASCAR racing today, and there's a dog leg here. It's kind of that bend, but sometimes they don't pay attention to the boundaries of the track. They like to cut that dog leg a bit.
Yeah, they do. And the admins are talking about it right now as they're bringing this up as qualifying is coming down to a close. They're saying if you go down there and you can't handle the transition, cause a wreck, you will be penalized. So it's a boys have at it mentality. But I got to tell you, the transition, not only just down under the apron there on the dog leg, but the transition back up, especially with the track being a little slick tonight, that's going to be a real tough thing to handle, man. There's a lot of speed through there, and we could, like I said in the open, we could see cars get 4, maybe 5 wide through there. There's a lot of room, and no area below that yellow line is off limits. But again, if you cause a wreck, you better be ready to suffer the consequences from that, Bill.
That's a good idea. That's the way a lot of series do things, where they say, look, we know it's an issue. Go ahead and do it, but listen, we're going to come down on you hard, and you will suffer the wrath of the incident review team if you cause a problem. You know, cutting that dog leg is kind of seems like a good idea at the time kind of thing, where you're making up a lot of ground, but then all of a sudden you got to figure out how to get back on the racing surface without coming up into the middle of everybody. What do you think about tires here today, Sean? I know they were really a factor. People were coming in every chance they could for tires at our last couple races. Probably the same thing here today.
Yeah, I think we've seen with this tire model so far is that they do wear, and I think, especially on this track with the lack of banking that we've seen previous to tonight, I really think that's going to be a premium. I think guys will probably come down every caution. Maybe as we get deeper into the race, you might have some guys gamble with maybe 2 tires, maybe no tires, but we'll have to see as the race develops. Starting out with a 60% track state, yeah, I would imagine these tires are going to fall off just a bit, and the transitioning again from the apron back up to the track, everything, it could be a bit of a cheese grater on these tires. We'll watch this first run and see how they get started, but so far here in practice, we haven't seen them run any more than about 7 or 8 laps until the car started getting a little bit squirrely.
Now, looking at the preliminary qualifying, they're not quite done yet, but I think they're pretty close to being official there. Looking at Colton Davis. Now, there's a name we haven't seen in the first 2 races up there on the pole. But I'm going to make a plea right now to Jimmy Mullis and James Mullins. You guys have got to contact GSRC and give us a nickname that you would prefer. Otherwise, I'm going to choose one for you, and you may not like it, because I'm just not talented enough to keep Jimmy Mullis and James Mullins separated in my head. So, good luck. I know that Mullins, of course, is in the 5 car. Now, Mullins, I talked about it a little bit in the pre-race show. He was really the class of the field last week, Sean, when we were watching at Atlanta. He was really dominating out in front, but he got caught with a darn speeding ticket late in the race on pit road, and that took him out. And then that set up one heck of a finish at the end.
Yeah, it did, and that was a tough break for that team to get hit with that late speeding penalty. But, man, you got to watch yourself. You're going to have to do it tonight. Tough transition back down to the track. Your speed limit here tonight, Bill, only 45 miles an hour. So, yeah, you better get her locked down pretty quick, and you better be right on the money at the line, or it's going to cost you, and you will lose laps here if you've got to go back in.
Still some qualifying going on, as I've seen here, that we got to update. A few drivers still posting sometimes. Looking at some more names that we're familiar with there. Tate Lytle up there in 4th position so far. That's very good from him. And a guy that we've had our eye on for both races that we've covered is Joshua Howland Wolf. Always close to the top. We'll see what he's got today, huh?
Yeah, Howland Wolf's looking pretty good in practice, man. Not too bad in qualifying so far either. Certainly a car that has a top 10 run in it if you can have a little bit of luck.
Okay, I think that the qualifying is done, so let's go ahead and run down the qualifying order here in groups of 6. I'll take the top 6. Sean, you get the next 6. That's how we do it here at GSRC. Up on front, the front row, like we talked about, Colton Davis and Jimmy Mullis. Davis in the 6 machine, Mullis in the 34 machine. Row 2, James A. Mullins in the number 5 machine, and Tate Lytle outside of him. In the 3rd row, we talked about him, Joshua Howland Wolf. Keep an eye on him in that 15 machine. And Brandon Cretion. Now, Cretion was took the checkered flag at our event in Atlanta. Was it Atlanta that, it was the event before that slips my mind. Where were we for that? Was it Daytona? Maybe
Daytona,
Daytona, yeah.
Yes.
And he took that away because he was of a merging violation they took. Sean, who you got in 7th?
And that's going to be David Nannon in the number 21 starting 7th tonight. Zach Gaudette in the number 18 will start 8th. On the inside of row 5, Blake Heather in the number 7. In the number 88, Brad Walsh starting 10th. Ricky Howell Jr. in the number 78. He'll start 11th. Trevor Vavrosky in the number 10 will start 12th.
Trevor Vavrosky down there. He has that extra VR in the middle there. I'm going to get that name in good shape. Going down to row 7th. And it's Matthew Cessna going to be in 13th position. Outside of him, Robert Ponderosa Cartwright. I like him, doing really good in that 14th position. In the 15th spot, Ryan Irby. All ribbons and curls is our Daytona winner, Tad Granger. Now, Travis Henderson in 17th and Nick Parrott in 18th. Sean?
All right, Dawson Brock at a number 83. He'll start 19th. Finian Takuna, the number 9. He'll start 20th. Kenneth Reeder at a number 1, 21st. Will Proluck. The number 38, Will Prolux. And he'll start 22nd. Cordell Cologne in a number 50, 23rd.
24th position there, Mike Manley. Derek Prater in the 25th position. Now, the next spot is going to go to Nicholas Davis, and Alex Skinner is going to be right behind him in 27th. The final 3 spots, hopefully they're here today. They put in practice time, so I'm sure they're here. Jeremy Poole, Chase Sutton, and finally rounding out the field is another Vrosky. I'm not sure if it's a son or a brother or a cousin, but it's Vincent Vrosky out there in the number 25 machine. Maybe we can talk to one of the Vrosky's and find out their relationship. As we're still waiting for the drivers to go to grid,
Yeah, they're on the grid now here.
Oh, they're on the grid.
Bill,
Here we go. That's
they're coming
great.
off the pit lane as we speak. Going through the field here. I don't know if everybody is actually in. I'm showing Jeremy Poole is back there in 28th, and
Dawson Brock didn't post a qualifying time, but Will Plux is there, so that's good. Okay, the pace car is in. Chug-a-lug, makes you want to holler Heidi-ho. Green flag, and the cars are into turn 1.
boy, a lot of cars here at the back asleep on that start and got off to a real slow one, Bill.
In front, it's Jimmy Mullis out in second place. Colton Davis in the 6 machine has taken over the lead, 34. Now look at Mullis trying to get to the inside here right on lap 1. He's got that position, but I don't know if he's going to have the momentum to lead the first lap. Nope. Our leader for the first lap is going to be the number 6 machine of Colton Davis. Mullis is into second. Everybody looks cream behind that. Mullins, the number 5 machine. Oh, in the wall. He touched the wall there. Right when I was talking about him running third, I think he's going to be okay. Brandon Cretion in the 02 machine is in fourth. Now a battle for 5th position there. Zach Wadet on the outside of him is Howlin' Wolf. Yellow flag. Looks like it was Kenneth Reeder. Nosed it into the wall, Sean. I don't think he had any help there. I think he just got loose. He was ducking to the inside of Mike Manley, and he just got loose.
Yeah, car just broke loose, and again, trying to take advantage of that dog leg there, and looks like the transition might have bit him there a bit, Bill.
Was he down on the flat part, you think, during that?
Yeah, he had gone down to explore the limits of the track, and now he's going to have to explore the end of a wrench on the front end of that car because it is pretty bent up.
Well, the bad news for him is he's bent up his car, and again, there are no fast repairs. Another bad news is everybody has a yellow flag here, and that's never much fun. But the good news, I guess, for him would be that he didn't bring it up in front of traffic and cause a bigger problem behind him. So maybe the series officials, while they're not fond of yellow flags, whatever the reason, at least there weren't other drivers involved. That should be good for him when he's pleading his case later this week.
Yeah, and it looks like just about everybody there in the second half of the field decided to go ahead and come on down. Lots of cars opting to come in the pit. I've got about 10 cars in right now. Looks like everybody about 16th place back decided to bring it in.
Yeah, so let's watch this now as looks like the first car out that's going to have fresh tires, maybe going to be able to run a little bit longer is Travis Henderson. You know, this is lap 4, so he's going to have a little bit of extra time that he can go. So look for him. That gives him a little bit of a window. It's always nice if you have that window. You can stay out there for a couple laps, and if you get lucky and the yellow flag comes out and you time it just right. And as I say that, we have some more guys deciding that they're going to come in here, and this time it's some little guys farther up in the front. It looks like Robert Cartwright is coming in and Ryan Irby.
Yeah, again, a little bit of a surprise there. I mean, we only had three laps on these tires and this fuel when that caution came out. But yeah, hey, why not? It's only lap 5. Certainly, I don't think there's anything to be lost at this point, but certainly taking a little bit of look at early strategy being played here.
Well, they got a little bit of the nerves out there and shake it out a little bit. Got the feel of what it is to race in traffic. We'll see if we can get a little bit there, but a little bit of green flag run. But Sean, we talked about it, and sure enough, the transition came into effect right off the bat.
It really did. It came up and bit them quick. I will tell you this: that caution might be an opportunity for a lot of guys in the second half of the field. And I got to be honest, I think they were a little bit caught off guard by the start of the race. Several of them were not ready, Bill. Were backed up still into the backstretch as the green was falling, and everybody's starting to make their way into turns 1 and 2. There were about 10, 12 cars that were just totally left out of the shuffle. So
yeah.
Good opportunity for them to get restarted here clean and stay with the field this time.
And here comes Will Plux down in the number 38 machine. He's going to be the last car. He's going to duck in here and get fuel. So in theory, he's going to be able to run longer than the rest of these guys. I'm not actually sure if he stopped or just did a drive-through there. He might have just wanted to get to the back of the field. Lord knows I felt that way sometimes when it's... sometimes I'd rather just... Tell you what, it's early. Just put me at the back. I'll just lay back here for a while and take it easy. I don't need to be up in the thick of it. Lights are back on. I thought we were going to go green, but the lights are back on.
And I'm not showing an admin through that, so that's kind of strange. Yeah, that's a bit odd there, Bill. We had a little bit of an iRacing hiccup, it appears.
So that's going to give Will Plux another chance to take a pass through. Will just maybe trying to find a new racing line, looking for grip down pit lane maybe that he can use later. This time he's going to pull into his stall. Maybe he came through last time, missed his stall. He must have known that there was going to be an extra lap out here.
Well, that's Will's third pit stop already, so I'm not quite sure what he's working on, but I'm showing that's his third time in.
Well, he's paying the pit crew. He guess he's going to, he pays them the same whether they sit there and do nothing or not. So I guess he's going to make them earn his keep.
Well, he's taking a full stop. He's still sitting there. I didn't see any damage on the car, but he is still sitting.
Colton Davis.
Yeah, he's away now.
He's going to bring him down here. The lights are off on the pace car, so this will be it. Looks like that inside line worked pretty well for Davis the first time. Now, outside of him is Jimmy Mullis. So we'll see how that works. Davis in the 6 machine, Mullis in the 34 machine. Mullis gets a pretty good jump. Nope, but Davis is going to get right back at it. And Davis is going to take it into the lead, into the first corner. He's got it tucking in behind his Mullis. Brandon Cretion in the 02 machine in 4th. Mullins in 5th in that 5 machine. Again, side by side is Wolf and the 15 car of, the Wolf in the 15 car and the 18 machine of Zach Waddett.
Man, Ricky Howell Jr. back here in the 17. He in the 78. He almost got collected by the car behind him. That would be the Alex Skinner machine. Alex had a major run and got into the back of the car. Now he's a little off pace, kind of falling back. I don't see a whole lot of damage on Alex's car there, but man, he was coming quick and almost started a big chain reaction accident there.
As our leader comes around now, completing lap number 8, starting on 9 and now starting lap number 10. It's still Colton Davis. The 3 cars that are no longer racing or didn't take the grid, Dawson Brock, Vincent Bobrovsky, and Nicholas Davis are not in there. So we have 27 cars currently out there right now. Chase Sutton is 2 laps down. Will Pulse is back out there. We saw him pitting. He's back out there. Last car on the lead lap, 14 seconds back in the 38 machine. But up front, it's still Colton Davis.
Here comes Cordell Colon in the Honor Palmer number 50. The half and half machine is running, man. Watch him use this apron right here. Oh, he got me that time. There he goes. Oh, the caution's out.
And it looks like it's Plux, Will Plux.
Brad Walsh was slow there for some reason, too. I'm seeing a little bit of damage on the left side. We're going to the replay here. Try and pick it up. We catch him. There's Will spinning. Here we go. We got a shot from behind. Maybe it was just a self-spin, Bill.
No, I think he put it in the outside wall coming into the corner. At least from my angle, I think he might have got the outside wall.
Oh, yeah. He ran up the track there. The push was real, and it drove him up the track. But Brad Walsh also having trouble right at the same moment there, and he's got heavy damage on the left side now. The number 88 Mountain Dew, pretty scuffed up. He's going to come down pit road this time by.
Plux did a good job of getting the car down because he spun right in front of the leaders. And speaking of the leaders, now they're going to take this opportunity to come in. So here we are on lap 12. Davis in, Mullis behind him, Mullins behind him, Gaudet, Cretion, and Lytle. Your first 6 cars into the pits. Let's see if that's the order they come out.
Granger stays out. Tad Granger stays on the track.
Now there are bonus points for leading laps. So Granger's going to try to pick that one up right now. He was probably running in about 12, 13 cars came in. So he was down the race.
He was actually he was back at about 13th spot, actually. I was watching the battle he was having. He was back there with Cologne. We're hearing maybe Cretion might have missed his pit stall. Don't want to be making some mistakes early here in the race and on the pit lane, Bill.
Davis is out first. Mullins knows. We'll see if those other cars come in here. This very well could that Davis could cycle back up behind the pace car, or some of those guys could decide to stay out and keep that track position. But for the cars who did pit, it's Davis, Mullins, Mullis. Now let's get this straight. The number 5 machine of James Mullins is ahead of Mullis, so he made the little move in the pit lane there. Gaudet behind him. Vavroski, we're still looking for Joshua. We're still looking. There's Joshua Wolf and Heather. We're looking for the one that our director talked about there, Cretion. Nannen, Cessna. Oh, Cretion was crushed. Cologne. Where the heck is Cretion? Oh, Cretion actually, he missed when we said he missed his pit lane. I mean, that not like he overshot it and backed up. He actually did a pass through. So that's devastating.
So Granger decides to keep the car out. He has not pitted at all, Bill. Colton Davis falls in second. Here as we cycle around, and James Mullins third, and Jim Mullis there in the number 34. He's sitting there in fourth, and Zach Gaudet cycles back around to fifth here. So, Granger looking to try and make a run on the field with old tires. Hate to call 13-lap tires old, but, Bill, they've been running pretty hard.
Well, we'll see. Well, now we'll get an idea. We'll see what that means there for him. Granger, he's not like he was fast to begin with. He's qualified 16th and was 12th in practice, so even under best conditions, it would be hard for him to hang with the leaders, but he's going to have that inside position. At least if he can get a good jump, get those rubber, should have enough rubber to get a decent jump here. If he can get to the inside in front of Davis, then he can make Davis do the work.
Well, clean air is the place to be. I talked about it early. Yep, and if he can get up there and get a nice restart, certainly a good place to be to get restarted. Still a lot of cars in this race and a lot of action and shuffling going on behind early.
So you got Granger, and then you got the class of the field so far, Davis on the outside. Then you got Mullins and Mullis back there. The 5 machine of Mullins and the 34 machine of Mullis in row 2. We'll keep an eye on them. Back in row 3, Bobrovsky and Gaudet. The pace car is in. Let's see what those old tires can do. Granger gets smoked. Granger just gets smoked. He can't get it going. Davis gets the jump out in front. Mullis moves into second. Bobrovsky has taken over third. Oh, Tad Granger dropped back to fourth. That's still 9 positions up where he was when he started, but he's fallen quickly. Mullins in fifth, and there's side by side again is Gaudet, who just can't seem to get out of trouble there. He's got Blake Heather behind him there. Heather looking for a spot to go.
Watching Finian DeCuna, the number 9 Lenovo machine, having a decent run, just taking care of the car right now. Taking it easy, letting these guys in front of him race, letting the race come to him. Not a bad plan. A lot of action, a lot of side-by-side right there in front of Finian.
While we're back there looking at 14th, let's back up a couple more positions. Here's a guy we want to keep an eye on here. Is Brandon Cretion running in 17th position. We know he's fast. He really had a horrible pit stop there. So we'll keep an eye on him, Sean, as he makes his way through the field. He's got some big names in front of him. Tate Lyle in front of him there. Actually, he's got a Cretion, has got a Ram Lytle now. Cretion up into 16th position. He's got Robert Cartwright ahead of him. Got a real train of cars ahead of him, and they're pretty much single file up in front.
Yeah, everybody except Cordell Cologne and Henderson in the 24. Oh, Cologne gets in. No, Henderson gets into Cologne. Cologne goes around. He's across the track. Oh, contact. The 78 hits Cologne.
That was Ricky Howell. Oh, you could just see it coming. The poor guy was up there.
And he had no control of the car. It was just spinning. I mean, he was just along for the ride at that point. You see the contact there. Just a little bit of contact by Henderson. He moves Henderson. The car just gets a little bit of a push up the track and into the door of Cologne. Here's the replay again. We'll look from above. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We're on board. Here we go. Henderson, there he goes, starting to drift up the track. And there he goes, right in the door of the car. The rear end goes around. There we go. I'm sorry, Bill. I was a little ahead of it there, but yeah, that's...
Yeah, I was with you. It looked like maybe the 24 got into him, but I don't think so. I think that was all Cologne there. So things are not smelling so sweet for Cologne, as he's probably going to end his race. That was a pretty good hit. That's probably also going to take out Cologne. Still trying to... has he brought it into the pits yet? He's still limping it around.
Yeah, he's... I got to be honest with you. He was getting around really quick, really anxious to get back to pit road, trying not to lose a lap. But I got to be honest with the damage on the front end of that car. He's got to be looking time in the pit stall, at least mandatory time of a couple of minutes, you would think. That thing is really beat up. No hood left on the car right now.
Well, Sean, let me tell you who's really happy about this yellow flag, and that's Tad Granger. Remember, he was back in 13th position. Now everybody's come in. He was out there with old rubber. Now he can come in and get on an equal footing, really equal footing, with all the rest of the drivers. So he came in about 5th position. Look, I'm watching him right now. He's up on the right side. He's up on the left side, so he's taken 4.
Yeah, Granger having to let a lot of cars go by right now. He's falling back right now. I'm showing actually cycling back into now 20th place.
Well,
Not
that's
sure
maybe
what
because
happened.
there's quite a few cars ahead of them that didn't come in, that are still out there, that might be taking up the spots. Irby is still out there. These guys have
weird because I'm still only showing Granger's only been in once.
Yeah, we have Manley that really doesn't. Poole, Nannon. There's Colton Davis. Now that's the guy really our leader. So we have Davis, Mullis, Guadet, Wolf, Heather. Yeah, it is a long way back. Oh boy, it is a long way back to Granger. He is getting to move around a few cars. He got to move around. He's getting to move up here. We can put the camera on him. He's shuffling up.
Strange things are afoot at the Circle K, Bill.
It's hard to tell what iRacing does sometimes. I mean, they do a good job, but I mean, sometimes you think of the race stewards, the automatic race stewards that iRacers have, and you think they got their stewardship doing, organizing races in the Roman Coliseum and watching chariot races. I mean, sometimes it feels like I'm watching Ben-Hur. The yellow flag is slow to go, and sometimes you can see cars upside down. The yellow flag won't come out. Then other times it comes out for that little spill that we saw with Pulse brought it out. So you never know.
Well, maybe we should start throwing these decisions to the Magic 8 Ball. What do you think?
It's almost as accurate.
It's probable.
Well, maybe iRacing has put in like some attitude for the race stewards as well. You never know what iRacing has up their sleeve. Lights are off now. Let's go ahead. We have Jeremy Poole. These guys have stayed out. We have Poole now, and outside of Poole is David Nannon. So Poole's going to bring these guys up. Now, right behind him is Colton Davis. So look for Davis to get around these two guys. Pretty good jump, though, from Nannon. Nannon on the outside. Looks like he might be able to close the door on Poole, and he does. Nannon gets a real good jump on that 21 machine. Poole dropping back. On the outside now is Mullis. What happened there is that Davis got hung up behind the number 2 machine of the number 2 machine of Poole. Poole is really loose. Poole almost gets into the 18.
Yeah, Joshua Wolf was loose back there. The yellow flag is out. Manley is in trouble.
Skinner, Alex Skinner involved in it. Granger involved in it.
Wow, we had
Cologne
trouble getting
involved
restarted
in it.
there. Bill, let's try and take a look at that from above. That was just crazy, man. Here comes the replay. Oh, yeah. Looks like the 5 was loose there, and everybody trying to make an evasive move behind him. Just nowhere to go. Nick Parrott gets caught up in that. That was a who's who in the WSU, sir. Everybody seemed to get behind that and involved.
I think what started it, I think Henderson, I think Mullins, I'm going to tell her, I think Mullins got into Henderson, and that's what started off in the 24 machine. And then there was nowhere to go.
Yeah, you know what, Bill? I'm checking it on my replay, and I think that's exactly what happened. Is there was a little bit of contact on Henderson from the 5, and that sends him around. Mullins getting just a small piece of that left rear quarter panel, and then of course the carnage ensued behind him. Lots of cars caught up in that. That was we had Kenneth Reeder with a really torn up race car, Brad Walsh with even more damage than he had, Cordell Cologne with just already had a beat up race car. It's really wrecked now. Todd Granger also caught up. Again, just a lot of damaged race cars in that incident. Jeremy Poole got a piece of it. Yeah, that's a lot of good race cars torn up there.
Well, I hope you viewers poured yourself a really large glass of Arizona iced tea for this one, because we may be here a while.
Man, we still got 125 to go, Bill.
Oh, I bet you most of these guys are halfway through their tortilla chips now. We got a ways to go. We are only on lap 27 of 150.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. That pit road's going to be busy. They're going to have the jackhammers out, the duct tape, the blowtorch, you name it. Everything's going to be over the wall. We got a lot of service going on down there.
Okay, so let's see who's behind the pace car now. And again, that's probably good news for those drivers who stayed out, like Poole, who was really having a hard time staying out there. Look what happened to Granger. Granger stayed out, then he got that bad pit stop back in the mix there, and I think he's probably done for the day. So, we got the number 34 machine out in front, Jimmy Mullis. He's really has been pretty dominant here, doing a pretty good job. Now, outside of him is Colton Davis. There's another guy who's been up front most of the night.
Yeah, Colton was really hooked up, but I got to be honest, he got checked up on that restart just a bit and had a little bit of contact there and might have bent it up a little bit, but I'm not seeing anything significant. He should be fine, but that car was definitely awful fast, and then Blake Heather and Zach Gaudette slide in behind those two.
Yeah, as we talked before we go back to the third row, you talk about Davis. What happened was he was on the inside of row 2, and just ahead of the guy on the pole was Poole, but Poole couldn't get it going. Even though Poole was on the pole, he could not get going there. Okay, we go down to the third row here as they're about, I think they're going to go green this time. It's Gaudette, and the car is in. All right, Mullis on the inside, Davis on the outside. Davis with a nice run, but Mullis gets it going now. They go 2 by 2 into the first corner. Mullis is going to get that position. Davis still on the outside, might have some momentum here. Let's see what he can do down the back straight. There, look at Mullis take it to the down onto the flat part of the racetrack, and Mullis is going to get it.
They're spinning in 3. Down below the caution.
Joshua Howland Wolf involved in the 15 machine. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we catch it on the replay. Josh
there.
Wolf.
It looks like the 33 got into him. Derek Prater. I think Derek Prater got into the back of him. Sean, see what you see. Got Wolf around.
Yeah, just a little bit of help there. Prater getting a run on him. Josh getting out of the gas just a little bit, and it was just a small tap, but it was enough. The 27 doing a really good job of getting through that. Matthew Cisna just driving right by it, almost made contact, gets out of the way. Tough break for Howland Wolf, though. Car's going to be okay. I don't think he's in that bad of shape. He didn't really hit anything. Going to be a little wrinkled up on the rear end, but he'll be able to get back into this race. And here's the dash, back to pit lane, Bill.
Did they come in again? Let's see. No, it looks like... Did anybody come in from the front? Mullis is staying out there. Davis. So those are your front guys staying out there. They only had, what, 2 laps of 2 laps on the tire. Now, getting the wave around there looks like it's going to be... See if I can figure out who that was. Ricky Howell coming around. Yeah, 23rd position. Well, we still have, with Wiki Hell coming around, that's going to put him, he's the last car, 23 cars on the lead lap. Cologne, Walsh, Pulse, and Sutton still in the, actually, Sutton looks like he's retired. Pulse is also retired, so Walsh is still out there. Nope, looks like he's out too. Cologne is the last one, so 24 cars on the track right now. 24 out of, we started with, what, 30, so we lost about 6 in 31 laps. Once again, Sean, if you and I maybe want to jump in a car probably about 3/4 of the way through this lap, we might be able to get a race. We might be able to grab ourselves a top 10.
Man, I'll tell you what, pretty hard on these machines so far. But hey, listen, we got a good group of drivers still on the track. Can't forget about these guys that are taking care of the cars, okay, that are in this for the long haul. Guys like Blake Heather still staying out of trouble. The car is clean. He hasn't had any trouble, having a pretty quiet night so far. Robert Cartwright, another one of those guys, having kind of a quiet night so far, Bill. So a quiet night, not a bad thing for you right now. Certainly been a lot of action to open this race.
Lights are still on, so they'll go around one more time. Now, I'm going to give a warning to maybe some of the spotters who are listening to the broadcast. Here's the warning. If we go get another yellow here pretty soon, I'm going to break out the statistics for the Disney Princess standings. I have those, so if you want to hear about which is your favorite Disney princess, I'm warning you right now, that's coming out next, unless I get some green flag laps here. So all you people who are listening to this broadcast, go ahead and text the spotters, and the spotters transfer it down to the drivers.
Hey, now, Bill, I did get a message from Jimmy Mullins. He said you can call him anything you want. Jim is fine. He doesn't really care. Anything you want to come up with.
Now, see, now you're confusing me because you said did you say Jimmy Mullins?
Oh, I did say Jimmy Mullins.
See, now I don't know who that is because...
Bad on me. No, I meant Jimmy Mullis. Jimmy Mullis.
Mullis,
yes.
Okay, see? All
yes,
right.
yes,
right.
yes, and not James Mullins. No, I did not mean James Mullins.
We will get a nickname for Mullis, see, because even it's affected Sean now.
Bill, second base. That's it. That's
second
I'm done.
Base?
Yeah,
okay.
Just leave it at that.
Okay, the pit car is in. Thank goodness for the commentary. Mullis on the inside, Colton on the outside. Mullis is going to get that. Looks like the inside lane is pretty effective here. That seems to be the lane of choice on these restarts. As you see, Mullis is going to get that now. Davis is going to fight back and lock in second position. Zach Wadet gets third. Side by side back there is the 7 machine of Blake Heather. Inside him is the 02 machine of Cretion. Look, we talked about Cretion. He got in that early trouble. Here he is back up to 4th position now. Did it kind of quietly there. It was hard. I don't know how you can make up so many positions when 90% of the laps were under yellow, but Cretion ducking in. Keep an eye on that 02 machine as he's going to try to duck inside of Wadet. These guys they've raced a lot of laps side by side. This seems like the racing gods put them together a lot. Keep an eye on Cretion there as he tries to get inside. He's going to duck in, and looks like he's going to get that done. Guadet trying to fight on the outside. Let's see if he can get some drive off the corner, Sean. And he does.
Battle for the lead up front. Colton Davis going to take it away.
Look at both those guys down on the flat section of the track trying to take the shortest distance between 2 points. Don't really have to worry about coming back up in traffic if they're both behind you. Look at how close that Mullis is behind Davis.
Joshua Wolf just made a move. He's coming, baby. Howlin' Wolf coming back to the field after a little bit of bad luck.
Oh, it's so early for Wolf that he can do it. You've seen what Cretion has been able to do. If the car wasn't damaged.
I'm sorry, David Nannon really on the move too. Nannon gets below Wolf using that apron. Nannon having a really nice run, powering off the turn. He's got Henderson in his sights now, trying to set him up for a move.
See on that camera angle there, the car's strung out there. Look at that Napa machine taking a peek to the inside.
Oh, the number 8, the Budweiser machine almost gets into the 2.
Yeah, the action is really back here, back in the mid-pack, farther back here, about 12th, 13th. They're all pretty strung out nice in a line up in front. It's this, oh my goodness.
Cessna in the wall, the number 27 Miller Lite machine is around. Looks like he only got himself there, Bill. Nobody gets caught up into that. But nowhere to go there down that front straight. There's no room in the track there. You get out of shape, there's no recovery from it. Car just gets a little tight coming off.
Yeah, that's what it was. It just wouldn't turn for him because he had room.
We'll ride on board here and see what he saw.
Because look, he's down low, and then the car just goes up.
Oof. Yeah.
Ah.
Hits it pretty hard, too. A lot of damage on the left front. Just getting down pit road right now.
Well, I would think that's probably enough green flag laps that these guys will come in again for tires. Boy, one of the things I love iRacing, and God bless them for what they do, but boy, I would sure love to see a limited on tire sets here. It would make these races so much more interesting for us to cover.
Well, at least give you the option to do that. Yeah, it would be nice. That's obviously something the Truck Series prided themselves on when they first got started way back in the day there in the mid-late 90s. And I always thought that was a pretty neat thing that they limited the number of sets. Tonight, we're keeping the Goodyear guys busy this evening.
No, let me buy some virtual Goodyear stock here. They're going through the sets.
Yeah,
okay.
we need some Goodyear Bitcoin.
Davis is in first. He's up on the right sides. I'm sure he's going to take both. We'll watch. He's up on the right. Does he take the left sides as well? Yes, he does. Mullis right behind him. I'm watching these guys in pit lane, and they come out pretty much in the order they go in. Davis, Mullis. Looks like maybe Guadet is going to get the nod over Cretion. So there's 3 and 4. Heather, Mullins, we're seeing the same guys up in front here for most of the race here. Lytle, Vavrovsky running in 8th. Derek Prater out next. Ryan Irby, 9 and 10. How's our boy doing back there that spun? Joshua Wolf in 12th. That's fine position for him. Plenty of time for him to work up from there.
Yeah, it is kind of funny how, the guys that started up front have had a little bit of trouble, been sliding around the track a little bit, and get shuffled back in a couple of pit stops to or a couple of caution flags to kind of shuffle things again. And wow, there they are, back up to the front again, Bill.
Okay, children, as I made the threat, and so I have to follow through so that you will take me seriously in the future. So here are your Disney princess standings. Right now, leading the way is Ariel, I believe. Ariel from Little Mermaids, if I know that's right. She has 1 vote, and then we have half votes from Tad Granger, who couldn't make up his mind. So we're giving a half vote to Elsa, Queen Elsa, and her sister, Princess Anna. They both have a half vote. So if you're a driver and you're watching this broadcast, remember I'm going to be coming at least to one of you guys every week, and we're going to see who is your favorite Disney princess. And if these yellow flags keep up, I will come up with some other nonsense to talk about as well. 43 laps in of 150. Not even to the 1/3 part yet. Our director has ordered a pizza.
And the lights are out, Bill. We're getting ready to crank it up once again here at the Subway 150 tonight.
All right, I'm gonna get excited for this one because I feel a long green flag run coming here. Mullis in the 34 machine on the inside. Colton Davis on the outside. Behind them, it's the 02 machine of Brandon Cretion. Outside of him, Zach Waddett. So there's your top 4. We'll take it one more row back. Mullins in 5th back there, and Heather outside. The pace car is in. They bring it up. Great jump from the outside. They go 2 by 2 all the way around. Still 2 by 2, waiting to decide that. The 6 car has a little advantage, but there goes the 34 with a little run. 34 gets a little loose. He's got to back off. They're still side by side. That gives Cretion a chance to split the middle. We don't need to be doing this now, boys. Let's get in some green laps. They're still undecided. With it looks like Mullis up in front in the 34 machine, holding that inside line. The 6 machine of Davis on the outside, Cretion right behind him in the 02, and now they settle in position. Again, all 3 cars diving down to the flat part of the track.
Here comes Joshua Wolf. Already picked up 2 positions, Bill. He is on the move up to 9th.
In racing, they can look at their another caution out there as Poole has looped it into the... Oh, I think Jeremy's day might be done now as he hit that inside wall pretty hard. Jeremy, we love you, but it might be time for you to call it a night.
Yeah, and I saw Cordell Cologne's car going around there also. Cordell's still trying to keep that car on the track. And you saw him, he just kind of got a little loose coming off of 4 there, and car just spins around. A lot of damage on that front end. Not going to be an easy car to handle now.
Well, Cologne, is a legitimate points challenger. So the way he's seeing attrition right now, he's 10 laps back, but he's just out there trying to log in some miles. So if he can do it while staying out of trouble, I'm all for that. I'm out of Disney. I can't do the princesses now. We're thinking we're going to take a quick. We'll stay here for a little bit. Our energy is still up here. 47 laps. We are going to reach the 1/3 mark in a minute. Here comes Mullis, Davis behind him, Waddett, Bobrovsky. Did anybody stay out? Looks like Cretion maybe stayed out, huh? Nope, Cretion is in as well.
Yeah, no, Cretion is out. Cretion is still on the track.
Yeah. That could be good news for him. I just can't imagine that he needed to come in this early. I think this is going to be a big track position move for him. Mullins stayed out in the 5 machine. Lytle, Heather is going to stay out. Cisna is out. So what that's going to do is put some of our big names a little farther back in the field now.
Yeah, and it's going to give Cretion a chance to enjoy some clean air time up front, get some good solid points, and keep himself in a good position, to maybe finish out this race. We are going to restart with, I think, 50 laps in the books, so not a bad way to start getting into the, second, the the better portion of this race. Obviously, it's been a little rough, but I'm telling you, the field's starting to thin out. Attrition is set in. I think we're probably about to hit our stride here, Bill. Buyer beware, because we might get down to some real racing, and with him deciding to stay out, maybe not a bad call right now.
Yeah, I would got to be thinking that Cretion, the smart move would be to get on the text there with Mullins and say, look, let's get this settled. Why don't you just let me have the inside, drop in behind me, and let's go. And I think Cretion has the speed. He qualified 6th. I think he's going to be able to get going. Mullins qualified 3rd. I think those guys, their qualifying times were just less than a half a tenth apart. Those guys could put in some laps, get out there. I would rather be them way out in front of all this mix. Now, what has happened is Mullins is now back there in 5th position. Gaudet is in 6th. Probably ahead of most of the issues, but boy, I like what the leaders did here.
Yeah, I think that move's going to pay big dividends. I really do. I don't think, again, I just don't think we had enough on those tires, enough wear on those cars for them to come in. They are sitting in a good spot. I really feel, like I said, I feel like we're getting ready to hit our stride here, Bill. Be ready. This should be a good restart.
Well, we're looking at, last time we talked about it, we had 23 cars on the lead lap. Now we're looking at 19 cars on the lead lap. Poole is in the pits 1 lap down. He has not given up the ghost yet. Nick Parrott still out there, 6 down. Cisno still out there, 8 down. Nannon out there, 8 down. Cologne still out there, 10 down. I believe he's the last car out there. So we have 24 cars still racing. Looks like Poole may be in the pits for a while. Okay. We are at the 1/3 mark. Pace car is in. Let's see if Cretion and Mullins have done what I said and they just work together here. We got problems behind. It looks like it was Mullis. Jimmy Mullis is in the 34 machine. We talked about it getting stuck in the back. There was the class of the field, hurt badly. He had been up front all night. Robert Cartwright involved in it.
Yeah, it looked like he was maybe checked up just a little bit. The 10 gets him from behind, and that just stacks everybody up behind him, Bill. Let's watch it on the replay here. Real careful. You see him get tapped from behind there by the 10.
We just didn't get going.
Yeah, Trevor. I don't know. It almost seemed like he let off and then started to get going. I don't know, man. But it cost him big time. Destroyed that race car.
Yes, it's not our it's not our job to really say who's at fault there, but I can't blame Vavrovsky there. It looked like Mullis just didn't go. Now, here's another front runner. Here's another guy. Trevor Vavrovsky, maybe we can put the camera on that machine. Yeah, you see him right there. His nose is just plowed in. He's not going to have to worry about overheating, but I don't think he's going to be very aerodynamic. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Our director's going to pick up his pizza, so don't go away. Just a few seconds, we'll be right back. Welcome back to GSRC's coverage of the We Stand United round number 4 from, where the heck are we here? We're in Phoenix.
Yes, sir. The Valley of the Sun.
Sean, I mixed up a cake during the break there in the back here of the booth up here. I put it in the oven, so I need another caution here in about 40 minutes. If these guys could be so kind to arrange that for me. The lights are off. I'd like one about lap 90 would be good. If we go green all the way, then I can take the cake out of the oven. Here we go. Brandon Cretion, we talked about him being smart, staying out of trouble, and it's going to work for him. James Mullins on the outside as they go 2 by 2. Now right behind them is the 19 machine. Oh, look at Cretion is loose. He's up in the wall. He's collected. Many cars involved.
Man, he hit hard. Woo!
Trevor Vavrovsky is in there. The car was already damaged. I said Henderson was involved. Parrott has his nose crumpled up. You can see Cretion get loose here, Sean, and I maybe got a little help there.
Yeah, he gets the apron, Bill. Oh, man. Oh, the car gets loose. Little Wiggly gets hit from behind by Ricky Howell because Howell had nowhere to go.
Right.
Oh, man. Oh. What a tough break for Cretion. The kid was having such a nice run, Bill. You just feel horrible for him.
I think the winner of the race, the race winner here is going to be the apron. I would give the apron first place points if I could because it's undefeated so far. Okay.
I see someone commenting that this track is not that hard. I think some would disagree at this point.
Well, there were some tough hits there, so what I think that's going to do, eventually we're going to run out of machines here, and we should be able to get some green flag laps and just out of attrition. Now, our leaders are in, so I guess we're going to... Mullins has come in, so Mullins is out right now. We're still calling this like... We're still staying in this, Sean. We're going to stick with this here. Tate Lytle is coming out. There are some guys I think we should give a nod to. Anybody who we really haven't talked about should get a nod. And one of the guys that we thought we should mention here, we were going to do it when we got a green flag run, is car number 9, Finian DeCuna, quietly running up there in 7th place. You look at the car, it looks pretty clean. Doing a good job from him.
Yeah, he is having a very silent, quiet, nice run. And you know what? One of the few guys that hasn't got caught up in anything now. He's come into the pit just about every opportunity he's had. He's keeping the car fresh, no doubt about that.
Yeah. And as we talked about, I started to interrupt there. You can see on the camera, looks like the right hand of his car. Looks like he has a Darlington stripe from Phoenix on that one as well.
Okay, so let's go through the field and see what we can find that doesn't have any damage on it at this point, or a little bit of a stripe. Man, that's been an adventure this evening.
Okay, well now back up the front. Here we have Colton Davis back up. He's been one of the guys, he was your pole sitter. He's still out there, and he's back up there out of trouble. Boy, I would really like to be him right now. James Mullins behind him in the 5 machine. But Mullins is not without a little bit of blood on his hands, as he was caught up in an incident that took out a few cars. Tate Lytle in 3rd. Zach Wadette outside of row 2. Blake Heather, there's a name we've seen up front. And Finian DeCuna now up to 6th place. We just talked about him outside of row 3. David Nannon, we've mentioned him a few times in the 21, having a good race. Outside of him, Cordell Colon. Oh, sorry. Nannon is 8 laps down. Colon is also quite a few down, so they'll get that sorted out. Thought that was a pretty good performance from those guys.
Yeah.
Man, they're doing well.
Well, I think that's going to leave us here, as I'm looking at my timing and scoring, I think it's going to leave us with 10 cars left on the lead lap when we get restarted here. Kenneth Reeder will be the last of that group there in the number 1. But that car has had a lot A lot of trouble this evening. Hurting just a bit. There's the green flag, Bill. Here we go. Down into one.
Okay, you got the 5 machine of Mullis is going to drop back into second place. Colton Davis on the inside there. That position looks like they get that sorted out. But nobody seems to learn their lesson as Davis continues to take the apron. The 6 and the 5 machine.
Cessna was really slow back there down on the apron. Got out of everybody's way. That car has got some damage. Yeah, we'll just fight through some technical difficulties real quick, Bill.
We'll do this. We'll do this radio. We'll do this radio style here if they can still hear us. So Davis out in front. Wouldn't you know? This is probably the time we're going to get some green flag runs in here.
That's all right. James Mullins putting on a good show back here, trying to hang on to second place.
And there we go. Our director got the gremlins kicked out of the booth here. Let's set the stage for you. Colton Davis out in front in first position. Running safely behind him, James Mullins in the 5 machine. A little bit farther back, Zach Waddett running in third. We're going to try to run the whole field down if they'll be nice here. Tate Lytle in 4th position, and Sean, I'm going to take 5. You take the next 5. Blake Heather running in 5th.
Ricky Howell in 6th. Finian Takuna up to 7th. Joshua Howland Wolf in 8th. Alex Skinner in 9th. And Kenneth Reeder in 10th.
We go back to the number 62 machine there of Mike Manley. Now we're going to start going a lap down, so it's going to get a little confusing. Manley in 11th position. I think 12th is going to be Ryan Irby in the 60 machine. 13th position is going to go to Nick Parrott. Find Nick. There's Nick right there. Nick in a battle with, behind him then is 14th position, is a little harder. They're lap down. Travis Henderson, who's actually in the pits right now. So that's 7 down. I think we can stop right there because, honestly, it looks like everybody else, Sean, we don't have that many cars on the track now.
Yeah, no, attrition has set in, and they have started to spread out. Our leader, Colton Davis, really, I wouldn't say he's checking out, but he's certainly enjoying the clean air, running a really nice line around right now, generating a lot of good speed and managing the track well, and the caution flag is back
Matthew
out.
Cisna has put it in the wall.
And Cisna finds trouble, Bill.
I think that was his own doing from what I can tell.
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
Car was already a little damaged. He had damage on the left front.
I would say either that was hardware. If I was watching in real world, I would say his throttle's stuck.
Well, he is disconnected from the server, and I've got to wonder if that is exactly what we saw there, because that car just turned right. No reason at all. We're in the cockpit with him now.
Looks like he blew a right front there. That doesn't happen in iRacing, but man, the car just didn't turn. Okay, the cake's not done yet, so Sean, why don't we take a second and try to figure out exactly how many drivers we have left out here. We see 10 that are on the lead lap still. So who's still racing? How many do we have out there? We go down to Manley, Irby. Is Nick Parrott? Nick Parrott is not with us anymore. He was running at 13th. He's gone. I guess Nannon is still with us.
I think I'm seeing about 13 cars left, Bill.
I tell you, we should have entered this thing if GSRC would let us just put in a few laps here while broadcasting. We're going to get a top 10 out of this. And this is why I quoted Shakespeare earlier, where to butcher him, you can only die one death, and that's where we've been in these events where there's multiple fast repairs, and they just keep coming back to they're like zombies. You stab them in the heart, they keep coming. But at least this way, the field thins out, and eventually you can get some clean flag runs. The pace car may be the winner of this race.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, we were getting a decent run there for a moment. Like I said, they were starting to spread out a little bit. Davis was having a nice run.
It's going to get better. It's going to get better here.
Oh, most most certainly, there's still some pretty good competition out there. The likes of Colton Davis has been good all night. Even carrying a little bit of a little damage on that car, but James Mullins is still in this. Zach Gaudette, Tate Lytle, Blake Heather, Ricky Howell, Finian Takuna. We can't discount what he's done. All he's done is take care of his own business all night. Alex Skinner still in this thing. Joshua Howland Wolf, he's just persevered all night. That's all that man's managed to do. So, yeah, Bill, still plenty of good competitive drivers in here to get this thing done.
Let's give a hats off to my wife, who's here in the booth with me. She came back behind me and looked up there and saw 70 of 150. I have my headphones on, and I could hear her sigh, even with my headphones on. So it's okay, honey. The green flag laps are coming now. Don't worry, we got The Walking Dead and all the great shows on HBO taped on the VCR. They're not on the VCR. Boy, did I date myself there.
Oh, that's okay. I'm still putting all of my stuff on Betamax, so that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. I'm going to set the stage one more time because I'm getting really good at this here. Colton Davis in the 6 machine in the inside of row 1. That's the place to be. Then there's some little bit of nonsense going on behind him there as the number 7 Blake Heather trying to get up there, try to see where I belong. Zach Gaudette. Now there's a name we've seen from a few places before, the 18 machine outside of Davis on that row 1. Heather inside of 2 and outside of him. Look who it is. The 15 machine. Joshua Wolf is back.
Yeah,
Pace car is in, Sean.
Here we go. Colton Davis on the loud pedal.
Gaudette hung back a little bit there and is going to get a pretty good run into 1. I don't think that's going to happen because that outside line doesn't seem to move here as they come around to 2, but look at Gaudette with a little momentum. Cialis Bathtubs down the back straight. Both the drivers go down onto the flat area. It's still side by side, Gaudette and Davis. Davis finally gets it done. Gaudette's going to tuck him behind. Over, under, he ducks it down on the flat part. Does he come up behind? Oh, it's just enough room. Boy, they're racing hard. Let's put in the miles, boy. Davis and Gaudette, 1 and 2. Heather into 3rd, right behind him. Woo-hoo! It's Joshua Howland Wolf.
Oh, the 3 car is loose down low, and that's Finian Takuna was just right behind him. He had to check up, got out of shape, managed to get by the 78 cleanly. Takuna with a close call there with Ricky Howell. They almost made contact. Ricky in the number 78, Finian Takuna in the number 9. Takuna having a really solid run. He's got himself up to 7th. Hanging on.
The good news is we stay green as we are 1 lap away from the halfway mark. Is that right? Lap 75 times 2 is 150. That's it.
Yes, sir. Here we go. We're getting there, Bill. We're getting there, baby.
Colton Davis leads them across to start lap 75. They're starting to spread out a little bit, starting to put in some miles now. Gaudette, Heather, Mullins, and Wolf, your top 5. We'll go back and run down your next 5. Lytle in the number 19 machine. Right behind him, Finian Takuna running in 7th in the 9 machine. A little bit farther back, a little bit of battle here going on. Become Ricky Howell in the 78, and back him, Alex Skinner in the 20 machine. Let's stay on that battle there for a little bit. Director, that looks like a pretty good battle.
Well, Takuna was in that battle. He's managed to break away from them, but they're doing a pretty good job. At 78 machine, Ricky Howell, he's pretty hooked up. He's having to defend right now against Alex Skinner. Skinner was pretty fast in practice. Was also one of those cars that we saw that was getting a little bit loose, was having trouble managing the transition on a dog leg. Let's see how he does around and what kind of line he's taking now at this stage of the race.
Skinner didn't put in a qualifying time, so he started back of the pack, but he was pretty good in practice. About midfield in practice there. I think he's faster right now. And now the guy behind that, now that's 13th position. That's a lap down, actually 7 laps down there is David Nannon, just trying to put in some miles. It's a little bit farther back to Kenneth Reeder in 10th.
You know, Nannon actually was having a good run early. I was watching him move up through the field. and he got caught up in a couple of those yellow flags and unfortunately took a lot of damage, lost some time on the pit lane. Still looks like a pretty competitive car, though. Seems like he knows his way around. Just had a little bit of bad luck and still trying to overcome that bad luck.
Seeing if I can do a visual count of the actual cars we have on the track right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a battle for P3 as I was doing my
Mullins,
count.
yes sir, Mullins is on it. He gets by Heather.
Mullins moves up into third now. Heather drops to fourth.
Heather still with a pretty decent race car. A little bit of damage on the front end of that Toyota, but certainly still fast. Chance to settle in here now, Bill. The green flag has been out for several laps now. And, you know, again, a little bit of damage on the front of that 7, but still looking pretty good. He gave up that spot, but fourth position, not a bad place to be right now.
I'm looking right now, unless somebody else on the track, I think the last car running is the car in 16th position, Tad Granger, 13 laps down. We have a, yeah, we're talking that car looks pretty bad. We have 11 cars on the lead lap, and the cars that are still out there, 2 laps down, Ryan Irby still doing yeoman's work there. Nannon, who we talked about, running in 13th position. Nick Parrott, 14th position, 8 laps down. Cordell Cologne still out there in 15th position, 9 down. And then I think the last one is Tad Granger.
And here's a breaking development. Derek Prater just got his car back out on the track after 18 minutes of repair. He is back out.
Making 17 cars on the track. Currently running 20th, 25 laps behind. But honestly, 25 laps, just go ahead, put in those miles. You can pick up a few more positions.
Wow, Bill, they have really started to spread out all over the place. I mean, there are cars. Find a spot on the track where there isn't a car right now. It's, yeah, it's a big merry-go-round.
Granger now being lapped as Colton Davis goes by.
Yeah, Granger really slow, really off pace.
Well, he has no, maybe the director can get a good shot at that. The front of the car just is gone. There you see it right there. But I don't blame him. Just keep running to the high side. Let the guys go around behind you. You run to 16th, you could get a top 10 if things go the way they have been. Although, Sean, I don't think they are. I start to get the feeling that cake may burn here.
Well, I'm thinking they could probably keep that car on the truck for Martinsville. That thing looks like it's about ready to go. That looks like it's about one roll of duct tape short, ready for Martinsville.
Davis now with a 1.5 second lead out in front. We'll see if we can find a battle here. Nothing going on with Guadet. We're going to go all the way back, look at this battle for 8th position. And that's the one we looked at before. Really, it's the only battle on the track right now. It's Hal and Skinner. And here is coming up behind him again, that 21 machine of David Nannon. Running, he's several laps down.
I'm actually enjoying the peace and serenity of Green Flag Racing right now. This is fun. This is what we got here to do, and we got some guys starting to stretch their legs just a bit. Finney and Takuna still having a good run. He has managed to get himself here in the same zip code of Hal and Wolf. And Wolf is starting to see that Lenovo machine get a little bit bigger in his mirror here every lap. Closing on him. Takuna looking to get up to 6th place.
Yep. Oops, I heard a little contact somewhere. So no, I guess we're okay. Meanwhile, while we're looking at that battle, we don't need to go to it, but the Hal Skinner battle, and actually Nannon got in between them here, and here comes Mike Manley into the pits right now. See if this is scheduled or if he got into some trouble. Looks like he's just going to bring it in. Manley running. Actually, Manley's in pretty good shape. He was the only car running one lap down, so he was set up for the lucky dog.
Ooh, here we go. The run is getting real. Let's go back to the battle here between Wolf and our old friend Finian Takuna. Takuna really starting to get serious. He's starting to gap him in the turns. Getting it really right. Nice run as they headed to 1. Out of 2. You see him closing, man. He's got him. He's got the speed. Takuna looking strong. This is where he made up all the ground on the last lap. Will he do it again? Yeah, he's pulling him right here. Nice run off the turn. Might be
1 or 2 laps away, but we'll stay on this. Is really the best battle on the track right now. And you know, these boys now have to start looking. I know it seems silly after all the yellow flags we just had, but now with about 59 laps to go, they really have to start thinking about if this thing goes green all the way. I can't believe lightning's going to strike me, I think, for saying that. But I got a hunch we could have a long run, and they got to be thinking, my gosh, we got to be staying with the leader here.
Yeah, well, you know what, Bill? I mean, I believe, if I'm looking at this right, we are just about 20 laps into this run right now. Right. So yeah, it's time to start thinking about your end game. How do you want to play it here with just under 100 laps completed here right now? It's end game is what you're thinking about. Can you get out of this race with one more stop? You definitely can, if your car still feels pretty good.
We've done enough of these races to get the feel for it, and this is kind of typical where you have those early yellows, and then the field thins out. Thanks a lot to the no fast repair rule that makes this tolerable. And now let's look here at Takuna now with a good run this time. Nope.
Yeah, he keeps teasing that run, and then all of a sudden, the 15 just seems to come on and pick it back up just when he needs to. Wolf doing a really good job of defending that position right now.
I would like to know how hard he's really trying there. He might be giving it all he's got. It looks like he's really good off of 4, Sean.
And he's got significant damage on the rear end of that car. I mean, it's the rear end's gone essentially. So I don't know that you need that to be aero strong here, but here we go. Move on the apron. Takuna taking it low down to the inside.
Looks good this time if he can keep it in there. If he can keep it inside and not come up on him. Wolf trying to pin him tight. Has a lot of trust that Takuna's going to keep it low. Now, Wolf with the momentum outside. Takuna gets a pretty good dive into 4. This is where he's weak in 1, and this is where Wolf has the advantage. But on the outside, they're still side by side. Wolf now should have the momentum. They're still side by side. They go down the back straight. Both drivers, nope, only Takuna takes it down on the flat part. Wolf keeps it up on the bank. Takuna dives it in deep. Keep it low for me. And he does. Finian keep it down there. They still can't get this settled, Sean. They go another lap. Cialis bathtubs for a long time. This is so romantic. And it looks like Wolf is going to close the door. Woo!
Man, that's really good racecraft right there. I love seeing that type of racing. I mean, that's 2 really good race car drivers laying it out there on the line. Here comes Takuna getting back down inside, powers it down there. Takes it in a little bit deeper that time. Can he keep it tucked down? He can do it. He can do it. He's flirting with that yellow line. Don't want to get too far down there, but side by side coming across the line again, Bill.
I think if Finian can get this job done, I think then he can drive away. I think he's got more than Joshua right now. But Joshua's just make him hard. When Takuna gets to the inside, Wolf has such confidence in Takuna that he keeps him pinned down there and he doesn't let him come up. Look at the drive he gets now off of 4. His weakness, though, is down here. He's not good in 1.
Yes, we're talking about this battle. Skinner and Skinner and Prater having the same. Skinner and Ricky Howell having the same kind of battle. I mean, the exact same kind of battle. Both side by side racing. switching back and forth. Right now, Skinner with the advantage. He's able to get in front. And then we get a battle up front for second place, Bill.
Mullins out in front, but here comes Gaudet and looking at him in third, and right behind them is that beat-up machine of Tad Granger, so don't get confused there. Colton Davis still out in front. The cycle has not started yet. We see lots of drivers peeling off. Davis with a 3-second lead over this battle that we're looking at right there. Oh, we're looking at Davis. Mullins and Gaudet. And that looks like that settled down. Let's go back and see how this Wolf battle. This is still going on.
Yeah, no, it is, Bill. Wolf just goes to the inside. I'm sorry, no.
Dacuna
goes to the inside. Wolf up top. Wolf powers it down the front straight. Able to do it on the outside. Get a nice momentum into one. Get right around Dacuna. Hangs on out of two. Dacuna, here he comes.
I'm telling you, if Dacuna can just get this thing done, I think he's good to go.
Man, I don't know, Bill. That 15 Napa machine's got a lot of fight in it, man. I haven't seen it yet. They seem pretty evenly matched.
Wolf takes a nice tight line. Now here comes a good run. This is a nice run. Oh, and I almost think that Dacuna maybe didn't like what Wolf took that car down low. Dacuna could dite it in there. He's just not going to do it. Joshua Wolf is not scared to put that car down on the apron in front of Dacuna.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dacuna really doing a nice job of keeping that car stuck down there on the yellow line. That is a very tough thing to do in this track.
This
there
is the best position he's been in so far. Oh, he got loose! God, he had the pass made. He had it made and he got loose.
And there's that transition on the apron that we've talked about all night, man. Even the best of them have a little bit of trouble with it. We're on board with Dacuna right now. Here's what he saw. We're going to watch him make that transition down. And the car just gets loose, man.
Nice job of driving. Well, now, Finian, it's the Sisyphus factor. You got to push that boulder up the hill again. We'll come back to you when you get it closer to the top. Let's jump back and see how that Skinner battle. Looks like that's settled down a little. Looks like Alex has probably said, got that done now. Got about a second lead over Howell. Sean, I haven't really, because the yellow flags came so often, I really didn't mark where we came into our last stop, but I think we're getting close to green flag stop time.
Oh, yeah, buddy. Yeah, we're definitely, we came into that last pit stop, sir. I believe that was lap, let me check here. Ooh, that was about lap 72. I'm sorry, no, lap 69 and 70 when we came in last time.
Okay, we're at lap 107 now, so getting there. In fact, here we go. That's why they pay us the big bucks. Oh, Davis Colton is in.
Nannon gets a piece of the wall. That car is heavily damaged on the inside right now. Hope it doesn't bring out a caution. Let's look at the replay. There's the 21 of David Nannon. He was sitting in 13th place.
Yeah, he's still got it going straight, though, so I think we're okay.
Yeah, got tight coming off the turn and just smacks it on the inside wall. He's able to get it off the track, and we stay green. Everybody, here we go. Zach Gaudet coming in. There we go.
Okay.
The dominoes are starting to fall, baby.
All right, Colton Davis is in right now. Colton Davis just coming out. Gaudet is coming in. The guy who stayed out is Mullins now, is your leader, but only for a while. Mullins and Heath are still out there. And it looks like this is it.
Here we go. Howlin' Wolf coming in here, Bill, making the call.
Well, hurt somebody in the wall. Guess we're okay.
Dacuna keeps it on track.
All right, let's look at Colton Davis now. He's on the back straight. What we're going to do is go over to James Mullins, because those were the guys who were running close. Are they still on the same lap? Mullins is on lap 10. I'll make sure I do this right here. Colton, Davis. No, Davis has to go all the way around one more time.
Tate Lytle coming in. Here comes Takuna.
Okay, now Mullins is out. Mullins has come out of, he's made his stop. He was running in second position at the time. And we're looking for Davis, and we're saying that Davis is ahead or behind, Director? We're updating right now to try to figure this out.
Yeah,
All right.
Davis is ahead, and he's moving up. He's cycled back into third. Alex Skinner has cycled around to be the leader of this race now. But here he comes into the pit.
About a 6-second gap now we're looking at from Davis back to Mullins, and they were closer than that when they came in. So a great pit stop from Davis. Everybody's cycling in, huh? So we have Howell is now our leader, and he needs to come in. It looks like he's the last car that has to pit here. Hal Skinner hasn't come in. No, Skinner's in.
That's right, Skinner is in.
So Ricky Howell is our leader, and he's going to be coming in. He'll pick up those bonus points for leading the lap. If he can actually, I'm not sure he actually led a lap as he's coming in. There goes Davis around the outside now.
Nice pit stop for Skinner. They are away. 13.4 seconds in the stall. Nice one.
So we'll let Hal come out, and then we'll set all the cars still on the lead lap.
Yes, sir. We got a good one now, Bill. Things are heating up. It's almost that time of the race. We're getting there.
We are getting there. Davis is your leader. I think we can go ahead now and work our way through here kind of slowly. Colton Davis, about a 6-second lead. Has really been the class of the field all night. He was out in front early, got set back a little bit, but didn't take him long to get it out there. Now in second place, it's James Mullins in the 5 machine. Now right outside of him, I don't believe that's a battle for position. That's Cordell Colon running 13th. Colon is currently 10 laps down, so we don't need to pay attention to him. Mullins in the number 5 running in second. Drop back another about 8 seconds back to get to Blake Heather running in third. He's made his pit stop. He's got about a 3-second lead, Sean, on how about this guy? Tate Lytle, quietly running in top 5 in that 19.
Yeah, Tate having a good run, man. But tell you what, I can't help but to keep talking about Finney and Takuna. You know, he started 20th place.
Yeah.
Finds himself in 5th now. Was able to get ahead of Joshua Wolf. He was gaining on him. Was able to get ahead of him there on that pit stop cycle. And Josh having a little bit of trouble. So Finian having a really solid run tonight. Now, he's still got a ways to go to get to the front of the field. But, man, the number 9 Lenovo machine is just hooked up tonight. And, again, amazingly enough, he's managed to just stay away from the trouble, which has been a tough thing to do tonight. I'm sure we get a chance to talk to the podium. We'll hear all about their adventures through this 150-lap event tonight.
And you can see on the screen there where it says ahead there, if you look at Tate Lytle, look at our graphics there, you can see that number is coming down. That's the distance that Takuna has to go to catch Lytle. It was over 3 seconds ago, and now it's down to what, 2.8? Going to be, whoops, now it dropped a little bit of a jump there. Oh, we changed spots, okay. We put it on Lytle.
No, you're right though, Bill. It's about 2.8, and he's closing just a little bit every lap. Takuna trying to maybe get to the podium. He's only just under 6 seconds back from Heather.
He's got 33 laps to do it, and that's something we'll keep an eye on there and see if Takuna can get there in 5th place. Now it's only about 2 seconds back from Takuna. We drop back to Joshua Wolf running in 6th. We saw they were in that, Takuna and Wolf were in that battle before the pit stop, so Takuna came out a little bit ahead on that battle. Wolf running in 6th, and then it's a long way back. Long way back to Alex Skinner in 7th. And again, here's another battle that we saw between Skinner and Hal. That's broken up now after the pit stop. They were neck and neck for a long time fighting it out. Now Skinner with about a 6-second lead over Hal running in fact, look at that. Skinner and Hal are both a lap down. Only 6 cars, Sean, on the lead lap. We go all the way back to Joshua Wolf, 20 seconds off the lead.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's been that kind of night, man.
That's what a long green flag run will do for you.
Yeah, and they've definitely spread out. But we've seen some good racing here during this green flag run. Again, it was kind of refreshing to get to that point. It's a shame that it came at the expense of so many cars. But Colton Davis, again, you said it, the class of the field. He's not been without trouble. He has been one of those guys that has persevered tonight, and maybe we should give a perseverance award when this is all said and done with.
Well, how about, let's not count our chickens before they're hatched here, but let's just go ahead and assume that everything goes well for Colton Davis and he brings it home. That's 4 different winners in 4 races. That makes for a good series.
Well, certainly when you're putting together something like this, you want to give everybody a chance. It certainly gives guys that maybe aren't having a lot of luck right now, give them some hope.
We got something going on. Davis is slowing. It's down to 4.2. It's dropping. Something is wrong with Davis, I think. Yeah. He is he's dropping like a pigeon. Let's see if he put it in the wall. I'm looking back to see.
Boy, I'm not sure there, Bill. I didn't see anything happen, but seems like we've got trouble for our leader right now, and that's not good.
2. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on this number. Got a smoker ahead here. It looks like it's Derek Prater.
It is Prater. He's many laps down.
26 laps down. Is there anybody running behind him? Is Mike Manley still out there? No, I think Prater might be the last car running right now.
Yeah, no, Manley's still on the behind the wall.
In fact, Manley, that's too bad because Prater was trying to was able to put another 3 laps. He would have been able to get around David Nannon.
All right, so back to Davis.
Oh my goodness. Our director said, let's focus on the lead, and absolutely, because something is rotten in Denmark here as Davis is falling. Could the car have just gone away from him? I don't think so. James Mullins, something is wrong.
Well, he's definitely not up to speed because he is about to get passed by James Mullins.
I blame myself for talking about if Davis wins, it'll be our 4th different winner. I did it to you, Colton. I'm sorry.
I just heard him say something about fuel, but maybe he said he was saving fuel? I don't know. Maybe he didn't put enough fuel in on that last pit stop. I don't know.
Well, it doesn't.
And there goes.
Yeah,
there goes Mullins.
Save fuel if you're not going to. Yeah, let's see what happens now. Let's see. If that's the case, Davis may decide to fight back, and we'll see. Boy, not a lot of fight back from him. We'll see what happens here.
Well, hey, Bill, this is the time of race. We got less than 25 laps to go. I like to always say it's time to boogie. Now, Davis is not defending anymore. Well, he's the aggressor. He needs to boogie.
I was thinking maybe Davis wanted to fall in behind. If you're going to save fuel, maybe he's going to save fuel by getting behind Mullins. But you probably wouldn't want to take it down on the apron if that was your plan. You want to tuck right in behind him.
Well, he's losing ground now, and he's now battling with Skinner, who is a lap down.
Yeah, now this is important. Skinner's trying to get his lap back here.
And he's going to, right there.
Well, not quite. He's still got Mullins to get around. He got around the 2nd place car. But I don't think it'll be long until he gets Mullins, and he does. He goes down to the apron.
Boy, Davis really cutting that apron off. Extreme that time, taking it all the way down to the inside wall, Bill. Something's going on.
So with 22 laps to go, now we have Mullins. Well, let's go back and see. It's about 6 seconds back to Heather, so I think Davis is safe unless he runs out of fuel. But Mullins beginning to pull away. Maybe Mullins is just. Let's keep an eye on the gap between Davis and Heather here. That'll give us an indication if it's Davis is slowing or Mullins is just flying. About 4 seconds back to Heather. Is that gap falling as well? Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah, no, it is. Davis is dropping like a rock, man. His times are really off. That car is slow. I mean, he's running almost 2 seconds slower a lap right now than Heather.
Yep. It could be a fuel issue. Maybe he just wants to. If it was a fuel issue, it'd be short field or something. Maybe he'll just want to keep it out on the track, hope for a yellow. He wants to probably keep it out there as long as he can. I'm not sure you're going to get a yellow, though, now with 19 to go.
Yeah, I don't know, Bill. I think the chances are slim to none, and none may be running out the door, buddy.
The battles are there's not many battles on the track. There's about half the cars we had out here before, and the cars who are out here have figured out how to race this track because they put in the miles. So I would, if I was the crew chief, I would be thinking we're going green. And from our last pit stop, I think that Mullins is good to go. That was my assumption. Good to go to the distance here.
You know, we were talking about Takuna earlier. He's hanging on the 5th spot. He was making up ground on 4th place on Tate Lytle, but he has the car has seemed to kind of gone away on him a little bit. In fact, now he's got to be worried. Joshua Wolf is starting to make up ground on Finney and Takuna. Those two could be fighting again here in just a few laps.
Mullins came in on lap 10, so that's 40 laps. Yeah, Davis has now picked it back up again. Mullins came in at lap 110. That's 40 laps. I'd like to see how long that green fern look. In fact, I'm going to keep an eye on the track there a little bit. I'm going to go back and look at his lap times, see what he ran last time between pit stops. He came in at 110, and then the pit stop before that, that green flag run, side by side for the lead there, was on lap 71. That's 39 laps. It could be a fuel, Sean. That's 39 laps.
Yeah.
With green flag before. He's got to go 40. Maybe they're having to think they have a splash and go.
Boy, Davis is back on it again. He is back up to speed, getting quite a run right there on the 5. Man, as they come through the turn and out of 4, Colton Davis looks to take the lead back with now 15 laps to go, Bill.
Yeah, I think this is a fuel issue. I think Mullins has slowed down enough just so that he could save enough fuel to get to the end. So we have a battle here for second. It's still about 7 seconds back to Blake. Blake Heather running in second. Really no other battle on the lead lap right now. So let's go ahead and stay. We're going to stay right on this lead lap battle for several laps to see what's going on. We may take this all the way to the end here with 13 to go. There goes a lead for the number 6 machine. Jumps in there, and I didn't see Mullins put much of a fight up there. Davis now back up in front.
Well, Mullins maybe looking to try and save the car just a little bit.
This is kind of like a bicycle race here where neither one really wants to be in front. I guess if you can't be behind, at least having the guy on the outside of you is a little bit better as they go side by side. 12 laps to go.
Side by side racing, lots of laps on these tires. Getting to the end of this race. What a battle, man. It's going to be tricky here these last 10 laps. Don't go away now.
Mullins in the 5. Out in front. It's really the interval. It's not important. Both cars go down to the flat part of the track. Uh-oh. Davis now dropping back. Maybe he's recalculated the fuel and maybe he doesn't have enough. Boy, he sure is dropping now. It's one of those things, if you don't have enough, if you know you don't have enough to get it, go the distance, you might as well get in now so you can run hot laps. The question is, what are the other drivers? Since these guys are worried about fuel up here, What do the other drivers have to do? Davis is now way off the pace.
Yep, don't think he's had any choice here at this point. Had to let that lap car get around him. Think he's just trying to secure a second place finish right now, Bill. Question is, can he hold off Blake Heather? Heather's coming a little bit more every lap. Tate Lytle also there. Those two are actually battling.
Heather pitted on lap 110 as well. So no driver has an advantage. They both came in on the same lap. Oh, I'm wrong. Davis came in on lap 108. That explains it. Davis was in 2 laps earlier than Mullins.
Look at Davis all the way down there against the wall.
Yeah.
Here comes Heather coming right around him. Davis going to lose another spot here. Heather, what a run, man. Up to second place.
He's trying to go 42 laps. That's what Davis is trying to do there. That's a long run.
Well, able to get back on it right there and power pack past Heather. Look at that run Heather gets, though, man, off the turn. Just leaves him sitting like he's standing still.
Heather was also in on lap 110, so he should be certainly, I don't know if he's good to go, but he's certainly better to go than Davis. Meanwhile, out in front with 6 to go, if he has enough fuel, James Mullins. Now with a 4-second lead over Blake Heather. And Lytle has moved into third now as Davis falls back another position. Again, you almost got to think you're better off coming in and getting fuel and running. You're so fast, run those laps. But I guess he's figured that he's going to save more time running slow. Davis now running in fourth. He's just
they just get such a run off of 2, and he's just basically just sitting there in the middle of the track.
Yeah. He's got a 6-second lead on Finian DeCuna. And that's really our only question, is if he's going to be able to get it home, and if so, can he keep it out in front? It's now 5.5. He's not going to be able to either DeCuna's going to gobble him up. He's going to be lucky to actually finish on the lead lap. Meanwhile, our leader, James Mullins, with 4 to go.
I think he's out of gas. I think he's out of gas, Bill.
Davis?
I think Davis is. Let me get in the cockpit here. He's sputtering or something, but that car looks like it's out of fuel.
He's caution.
We get a yellow flag.
With 3 to go, I think that's it. It was Skinner
let's see.
Skinner running in 8th position, first car 1 lap down. All by himself. He was actually
I got tight on him, Bill.
Yeah, he came up behind the leader. I think that's why he got tight, Sean. He pulled right
Dirty
up trying
air.
to get his lap back, yeah.
Got that dirty air, man. Sent that car screaming up the track. Into the wall. Hard hit. On board with Skinner here. And he's, man, ouch. Hope that wasn't a full motion sim. That's gonna leave a mark.
Well, Skinner's going to try to limp that smoking car around, and probably the guy who's happiest to see this, and actually now Finian DeCuna has gotten ahead of Davis. Davis might be able to limp this car around under yellow. Certainly he's going to save more fuel this way.
I thought it was out, Bill. I thought he was out of fuel.
Well, DeCuna has moved into 4th. Mullins, Heather, Lytle. Did we lose somebody? DeCuna into 4th. That's right. Davis dropped down into 5th. Wolf into 6th. Those are the only cars on the lead lap. And we are on the last lap now. All James Mullins has to do is drive that car around in probably 3rd gear, I would think, right here. He's all by himself. He's got Tad Granger behind him, but Granger is 17 laps down. Heather can see Mullins is the closest he's been for a long time, but he can't pass up. Tate Lytle in third.
You know, that's going to be a great run for Blake Heather tonight. Overcame a lot of adversity, started ninth, got in a little bit of trouble, but manages to just be patient and take care of the car. Gets himself on the podium. That's a great run for the 7 tonight.
Here we come. Now, I don't believe James Mullins has a win this season, so the streak of first-time winners continues as James Mullins gets the victory, round 4 of the We Stand United Cup Series. Second place to Blake Heather. Tate Lytle brings it in. DeCuna in fourth. Did Colin Davis? Yep, Colin Davis got there in the top 5 there. We'll round out all the drivers on the lead lap. Joshua Wolf brings it home in 6th. Ricky Howell Jr. in 7th. That's all your lead lap drivers. We're going to quickly go to break. Make sure you come back. We'll run down the entire field, do interviews, and of course, we'll find out one more pick for Disney Princess, so you don't want to miss that. We'll be back in just a few. Our director has had some pizza. I've had a little drink of a certain type of beverage here. Sean's good to go. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's post-race broadcast here of the, oh my goodness, we've been here so long. Look, the sun is setting here. We're in Phoenix. This was the we stand united. And I'll tell you right now, Sean, I, and Amjad, we stand united in getting through this broadcast, and we have made it. The three of us standing up in the booth right now. We're going to run down the entire field for you. We're going to start with your winner, James Mullins. Nice job from him. Brought it home. Blake Heather going to get second place. Tate Lytle going to round out the podium positions there. Finian DeCuna, we mentioned him, had a nice race coming in fourth. Colton Davis had fuel issues at the end, tried to go 42 laps. He was able to do it, probably thanks to that late yellow flag, probably helped him. Joshua Howlin Wolf in sixth position. Ricky Howell Jr., the last car on the lead lap, in seventh. Zach Wadette was quietly one lap down in eighth. Kenneth Reeder was able to turn the page into ninth position there. Alex Skinner rounding out the top 10. Sean?
Here we go in 11th. Quiet night for Ryan Irby in the number 60. The number 3, Nick Parrott, finishes 12th. Cordell Colon in the number 50, 13th. Tad Granger in the number 8, 14th. David Nannins finishes 15th in the number 21 in 16th. Derek Prater in the number 33. Robert Cartwright in the number 68. He'll finish 17th. Yes.
There we go. Okay, keep going. I'm getting
And
loopy here.
Mike Manley in the number 62. He'll go 18th. Travis Henderson, tough night for him, man. The number 24, 19th. And rounding out the top 20, Trevor Varum Varosky in the number 10.
Hitting blackjack is Matthew Flap Cessna. Brandon Cretion catching 22. Jimmy Mullis in 23rd position. The double dozen spot goes to Jeremy Poole. Brad Walsh in 25th. 26th, 27th, and 28th goes to Will Plocks, Chase Sutton, and Dawson Brock. And I'm not sure that we had starts here from Nicholas Davis and Vincent Vavrosky. I don't believe they started. So we have 27 drivers who put laps in. Nice job. We've made it to the end. This is the important part. Let's do some interviews right now. We'll see if we can chase some guys down. Who do we see? I see we have DeCuna. That's fourth place. We got Godet. Let's go ahead and bring in Finian DeCuna. He's our highest qual. Oh, he's not in the interview room. Sorry, I'm looking in the wrong spot there. Who do we have ready to interview? There we go.
You want
All
to
right.
talk?
I got
you
the
wanna
winner.
talk okay, you want to go ahead and
winner.
talk to him? Yes, sir.
Jake Mullins, do you have a copy?
Yeah, 10-4, man. Got you loud and clear.
Hey, congratulations congratulations for surviving the first part of the race, and then congratulations on the win. Let's take this in pieces. How did that first part go? And a lot of yellows. How did it go for you? Were you in danger of getting caught up in anything?
Well, I mean, as you all know, there was a recent update in iRacing to the low downforce package, and the first few laps, first half of the race, everybody's just getting their feet wet with this new low downforce package and trying to survive. And some people had trouble, but everybody's got to get used to the new downforce package. And I had a good time. It's fun. We got through it just clean. Got to the back once, and I just never got around no wreck. Got into Travis Henderson once. I hope he forgives me for that, but I was there. I feel I was there. I hope he don't think I did it on purpose, because I didn't.
Oh, there was plenty of contact all around. So if you were only involved in one of them, consider yourself clean on that one. Sean and I and Amjad were watching the practice, and we had a bad feeling coming into this because we saw a lot of trouble during practice. And I guess you brought it up. How much time did you have? How much time did you have to practice with this new build?
Oh, man, I'm blessed to be on a good official team. I have a bunch of guys we work with, at least 10, 15 of us, on the official side. So I probably put 250 laps in on setup. I'm pretty dedicated, so I put a pretty few laps in on the setup. So,
well, it paid off for you. Now let's jump to the last part of the race there. You're running second. It really looked like the class of the field, honestly, was Colton Davis. Looked like nobody had anything for him. But he came in he had to go 42 laps on a tank on a fuel run. That was a long time. Was fuel an issue for you? And did you know that he was going to have trouble?
Oh, yeah, man, I agree. Colton was the class of the field, and I believe if we hadn't had a fuel strategy, he would have won the race. But, we topped off with one to go, I guess with about 78 to go. I told the boys, I told Tate and Heath are there, and Ricky House said, man, we better top off. I think it's going to be it's looking like it might go green. So we all topped off, and I knew Colton wouldn't be able to make it if it went green. So this is just a strategy call.
Were you good? You didn't need those last yellows. You think you were good to go under green to get to the end?
Oh yeah, I had just enough to make it. I clutched it probably 5 laps there at the end. So yeah, I definitely made it.
Well, congratulations on the win. Before we let you go, we got to ask you this silly question now. We need to know your favorite Disney princesses all time. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but who's it going to be? Think back. Favorite Disney princess?
Probably Cinderella.
He goes with an old time one. Oh, James. How old are you, James?
I'm 29.
Oh, I'm proud of you. 29, and you went all the way back to Cinderella.
Oh,
All right,
man.
we will put you on the chart there. Congratulations on the win. You going to be around full time this season?
Yeah, I'll probably be around full time. See me.
Good luck. We don't have any multiple winners yet, so that's the fourth driver to get one in 4 races. So it's anybody's ball game. So good luck as the season goes on.
Yeah, you too, man. I should have won Las Vegas. I'll just put that out there.
Yes, you should have. Absolutely. We talked about that in the pre-race. Hey, real quick, what happened on that? Black flag? Is that what got you?
Oh, dude, I just messed up. I seen Trevor catching me there at the end of that run, and I made an adjustment going into the pits, and I just he had pressure on me. I wasn't expecting it to be that fast. The weather kind of threw me off last week, but that's all right. We was fast. I mean, we finished 11th. It could have been worse. Good thing is, we're going in the right direction.
Long season, all you really need to do is make the chase, buddy. So congratulations on your win today. James Mullins, your winner of round 4. Sean, have you found anybody?
I have, Bill. Yes, sir. I've caught up with driver of the number 7 Toyota Echo Outdoor Power Equipment Machine, Blake Heather. How you doing, buddy? What a race, man. You had to fight through quite a bit to get on the podium here tonight.
Oh yeah, I would have been really close there at the end. As soon as I was crossing the stripe, I was hitting, with 3.0, and so I was right there. The caution probably saved me, but I would have liked to see green because that would have been a pretty interesting race.
Yes, sir. It would have. A lot of attrition out there tonight. Hard on the sheet metal this evening. Even your car a little banged up coming across the line here at the finish. Tough to race like that, isn't it?
Oh, I had like maybe about 10 seconds of damage. It didn't really affect the car too much. We're at Phoenix, flat track, don't really hurt you too bad. And I feel really bad for getting in the back of Cretion there. I wasn't expecting him to hit the apron and come back up in front of me, and I didn't have enough time to react, and felt bad for him. But I mean, it is what it is. He knows I didn't do it intentionally.
Yeah, no. Again, you talk about not enough time to react. When you're throwing down the kind of speed we're throwing here at Phoenix, there is just no time. And what are you going to do, right? You did the best you could, and it didn't work out. But it worked out for you tonight to bring home this car on the podium. Great points night. Still got a long season ahead. You got to be feeling good about heading out to California next week. What do you think about your chances out there? Have you started working on your setup for California?
No, I haven't really spent too much time. Since this was my first A race at Phoenix, and with the open, the new setup or the new pavement and everything, I put a lot of time this week in getting ready for this race. So it paid off, and I'll do the same thing for Auto Club.
Well, and it did pay off for you. Obviously, we can tell you put in the time, and you saying that here just confirms that practice does make permanent, as they say. Now, did you there at the end? We heard several cars clutching it. Were you one of those drivers clutching it towards the finish there?
Oh, I hate when I clutch. I usually lose the car if I ever clutch. So I was backing up my corners a little bit and running probably about 80% down the straightaway. And I think if it would have went green, I think Tate would have ended up catching me, and he would have got the second place, and I would have finished third. But that caution did save us.
Yeah,
I didn't like it to come out though, but
yeah. Well, hey, a great run for you tonight. We wish you the best next week when you head out to Fontana. Again, congratulations. Anybody want to thank this evening?
No, definitely like James. He helped me with kind of building the setup because I'm fairly new to making them, and everybody that I work with, during the before, like Ricky and stuff like that, I gotta thank them.
Well, thank you, Blake. Great to talk to you, Blake. Blake Heather, driver of the number 7 Toyota Echo Outdoor Power Equipment Machine, and he is your second place finisher tonight. And now Bill's going to get a chance to talk to Tate Lytle, driver number 19.
Tate Lytle, congratulations on the third place victory. First of all, let's get one thing straight. Pronunciation of the last name, is it Lytle?
Yeah.
All right, that's good. So that's a rarity when I get that one right. Okay, the first half of the race took about 4 days. The last half of the race went by in the blink of an eye. How'd you manage the first half? Were you safe? Were you clean through all of that?
Yeah, I got through it all clean. I got a couple close calls, but other than that, pretty good.
Okay, a lot of the drivers have talked about the low downforce, the new build for this car. Was it a problem for you? Were you prepared for it?
I didn't really see much of a difference here at Phoenix. We will next week at Auto Club, though.
At the end, you came in there. Were you good to go with fuel all the way from the very last part there?
Yeah, I was good to go. I pitted a lap later than everyone else. I think James had saved enough fuel to make it, but I think Blake would have ran out coming out of 4. I might have been able to get second.
You were in a pretty good. You were in a few battles there for a lot of the race. Let's just talk about this. Did you have a good time?
The last half.
The last half. Well, very nice. That's a podium. Is that your highest position so far? I don't remember seeing. Have you had a podium so far this season?
I think I got 4th last week, or 4th or 5th, somewhere in there.
Yeah. Congratulations. You full-time driver?
Probably not.
Okay. Well, good luck to you when you can. It's always great to have you. Congratulations on the podium today. Anybody you'd like to thank before we close out the show?
James Mullins and, Blake Heather, Cretion, those guys.
Good job. Does James Mullins have a nickname by any chance? Because I need something here. Between James Mullins and Jimmy Mullis, it's getting tough for me. Does he go by anything?
He goes by James. Just call him James and the other guy Jimmy.
Yeah, see, James and Jimmy is the same name. That's not helping me either. All right,
nickname.
Thank you to Tate Lytle there, your third place winner today. Sean, I'd also like to, anything you'd like to say while I dig up my paper here? Wait, I found it. Real quick, Sean, what do you think about we made it?
Hey, man, you know what? I'm just glad we got to the second half of the race because we saw a good one there in the end. Was a bit of a shame to get that caution right there at the end. I think, like we were talking about there during the interviews, I think we would have saw maybe just a couple of positions change. Several of these drivers were working at clutch and were really close on the fuel. So I think a few guys had their skin saved on this one, Bill. But a fun evening. Somebody made the comment earlier that this is an easy track. Bill, this is not an easy track. This is a driver's track, and you better have your wits about you when you show up, and you better be on point, man, because if you're not, you're going to see what we saw a little bit of tonight. You're going to see guys out of shape and unable to hang on to the car, and when you don't have any repairs, man, it's a short evening.
Okay, that'll do for us. We're going to do our thank yous. I guarantee that there is not one viewer out there right now still watching us. Hey, pay attention to this part of the show. Get your friends to come back in because this is what pays for the broadcast here. We'd like to thank everybody at We Stand United Motorsports for organizing the series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. Thanks to the companies, equipment, and software that you see on the screen right now that we use on the broadcast. The original music that you've heard today on the broadcast is thanks to Eric Eckelman and Casey Lalonde. See the screen for how to contact them. Special thanks to Mrs. Soup for sticking with me all the way and pulling the cake out of the oven up here in the GSRC broadcast booth. Thanks to my mic mate, Sean Ambrose, our director, Amjad Yaman, Dougie Beard for his camera locations. If you'd like to find more about GSRC and find out about archive races, which are really not there anymore, your best bet is the Global Sim Racing channel. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook at Global Sim Racing Channel. After stepping away for Round 5 WSU Peak Antifreeze 200 on March 20th, we're not going to be covering that one from Fontana. GSRC returns to broadcast some short track racing as Martinville hosts the We Stand United Round 6 Camping World 150. Oh, short track, that's going to be fun. For more details on all the upcoming events, go to globalsimracingchannel.com. And now that all the housekeeping is out of the way, it's time for all of us to go have fun storming the castle. So until next time, I say to you, pay attention. As always, race hard, race clean, and all of us will see you on the track.